Here's a question for you. You're just coming to the end of the last few days of your harvest. How has the pandemic impacted both last year's harvest and this harvest?
You know, I would say last year it was, I would say, easier because we had like the first, obviously, case in Chile. It was in March 20, and 20 was very hot and dry vintage, so it was like very concentrated vintage. We harvest. We started in mid-February with the first white of the south, and we finish our last Cabernet, the 21, I remember, of April. For this vintage, it was completely different because we have some rain. We are with the La Nina influence.
Yes.
So that means we have some rainy condition at the end of January. So that means all the color change period was very long and very heterogeneous. So that means we need to wait for the best compromise maturity for all the varieties. And we just finished this week, and we started also mid-February. So just imagine 3 months of full harvest, very long harvest, very complicated, very challenging. We had really to focus on the micro terroir approach and to test. We harvest one parcel in 3 times.
Right, 3 passes.
Yeah, because of these differences we have in terms of maturities. So, and then we had also, I would say, more complicated in terms of pandemic situation because after 1 year, people are really fed up. So when you are here and to say, okay, did you use all your protection for the alcohol and etc. We need to manage obviously all the people with the PCR test, etc. So it was really complicated to manage all the people because obviously we have many people working here, and but fortunately we are finishing the harvest with very safe. All the people are safe, so that's the most important for us.
Fantastic. And how was the 2021 vintage? How was the fruit?
Well, quite nice. If you want to, we can work on it with just show you in direct live the selection of the grapes. You know, it was very interesting because at the beginning I thought it was like ripe, and then we test the first vat and it was not so ripe. So we say, okay, we have like a heterogeneous berries in the same grapes. So we need to wait a little bit more. And at the end, for us, because we are looking much more for freshness and elegancy in our wines, we have like a very elegant, very fruity wines. So this is, in my opinion, very interesting. It's not a, I would say, like a very ripe or overripe characteristic, but in my opinion, it's much more interesting because it gives like a freshness, natural freshness to the wine, very interesting for the future. So I really like the style of the 21, very fruity, and you feel the pure taste of the grape variety and the terroir. So that's very important.
I have to ask you a personal question regarding your tastes with your own wines. Do you tend to prefer the cooler vintages yourself, taste-wise, or the warmer vintages?
Good question. Good question, because it depends on the moment. But at the beginning, I would say when I arrive in Chile, I prefer much more the warmer vintage.
Yes,
And now, maybe after 10 years, I don't want to say a little bit fed up of the very warm condition, but I prefer freshness and elegancy, because after 2 or 3 years in bottles, the bouquet you have, the aromatic nose you have is very fantastic. Just want to show you a little bit. We are in the Carménère reception. So we manage obviously all our vineyards with the Bordelais standard and very like a Chateau Grand Cru concept. So that means it's 100% under harvesting. And then we have the first selection, which is the selection of the grapes. Obviously, we have all the leaves, the sort out of the leaves, etc. And you see, it's very important here because this is Carménère. And this vibrating selection,
yes,
you know, you have all these small berries, and these small berries is like because with the Carménère we usually have some flowering problem, flowering issue. So that means we have the elimination of all these small berries,
okay,
which it's a green characteristic you can have in your vats. And then you have all the process with the distemming process.
yes,
Very classical one. And we use another vibrating selection just
okay,
to have the elimination of all the small berries.
yes,
And then the optical selection. So this
oh
optical
yes,
selection, we use obviously the same selection we have in Chateau Maipo Rothschild or sometimes in Almaviva or the Grand Cru. So it's very important because we took a picture of all the berries and then we shot with hair all the berries we don't want. And then we have this conveyor belt. We use this conveyor belt to recreate the gravitational alimentation of the vat.
yes, yes,
To
yes,
really
yes.
respect the integrity of the fruit. So that was just to show you the process.
No, that's fantastic. And Carménère is your the last grape to come in.
Yes, yes. Usually we start with a Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay from the Maipo Valley. As I said, mid-February. Then we have mid-March the first Merlot, and then end of March, beginning of April the first Cabernet, and end of April, beginning of May the Carménère.
Right, right, right.
And then the Carménère, usually it's like till mid-May, mostly, more or less. We're just going just before the wines, just to give you a quick look about the winery, and then going in the tasting room if you want.
Oh, sure, yeah, yeah.
So this is the facilities we have in the winery, and just to show you a little bit with a vertical press, etc. So it's very interesting because it's very you know, premium vinification process.
Yes.
And very interesting. If you want, to can show you the vineyard and just before the tasting to show you some
Fantastic.
sun and vineyard, because the view is fantastic. So just
oh yes, oh that's
yeah.
beautiful. Yes, yes, yes.
So you see this little mountain at the end, and at the bottom of this little mountain you have the Maipo River. So
yes,
that means
yeah.
the part of the vineyard which is closer to this river is really more fresh and more alluvial condition, alluvial soil. That's it. And you see this is a very classical winery process, and you work at this level. So that's why we use this conveyor belt, because you know, we are in a seismic country, so it was much easier to have this conveyor belt instead of underground winery.
Yeah, I understand, yes. Emmanuel, thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution today. We really appreciate the tour of your facility and the introduction to your marvelous wines. Hopefully at some point in the future, we will see you in Toronto for some wine tasting.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so.
Excellent. Speak soon.